Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you are all doing good. Tonight we have a bunch of different things to talk about. Not a lot of positivity tonight, but that's okay. Not everything can be positive all the time, just like nothing can always be negative all the time, right guys? Unfortunately though, tonight I couldn't really find anything too positive. I usually try to throw something in there, but we have some hilarious topics, chat, like a Bully Hunters 2.0. That's kind of positive because it's kind of funny, right? So tonight we're going to be talking about Blizzard, everyone's favorite company. Now, Blizzard has decided, instead of shutting the hell up and just letting people be mad about Diablo Immortal, and maybe even admitting that the microtransactions went a little bit too far, they decided to double down following weeks of criticism. So the Blizzard CEO has defended Diablo Immortal's controversial microtransactions. I think that the microtransactions are a bit worse than simply being controversial now. I mean, they are pretty disgusting microtransactions. They took it 25 steps too far, but of course the Blizzard CEO is still in favor of the game's monetization. He still is supporting it, and he doesn't think that they took it too far. So we're going to be talking about that. Two very sad topics that I am going to talk about tonight. They're not going to be the focus or anything. The first is going to be Shinzo Abe's assassination, but primarily how social media has kind of celebrated his death, and how Hideo Kojima was falsely identified as his assassin by media, and now he is threatening to sue the living shit out of anyone who falsely identified him, which is not the news I was expecting to hear today, but we are going to briefly touch on this. This isn't going to be like a main, topic tonight or anything, but I did still want to bring it up, just because I didn't get a chance to make a video on it. And of course I do cover, things that happen in the Japanese world often enough. And this is a pretty terrible situation. I am also going to be covering, again, pretty briefly, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Creators passing. I've talked about it in the past, I want to say 2 live streams, and I didn't get a chance to do a full video on it. But I wanted to just quickly bring it up, quickly give you guys the details that we do know, and just talk about it for a few, because a lot of people have asked me to talk about it, so I thought that we could dedicate a couple minutes tonight to it. We are also going to be talking about Ubisoft, everyone's favorite company as well. Ubisoft and Blizzard should get together and make some games, because now people are freaking out over this, rightly so. Ubisoft revoking access to single-player games is dark news for gamers. Basically, there were games on Steam that are being ripped off of Steam, and these titles will not be accessible anymore following September 1st, 2021. So it doesn't matter if you purchased it 3 years ago, 3 months ago, 3 weeks, or 3 days ago, you will not be able to access it after September 1st. And of course, this has people very, very pissed off. Right now, Ubisoft is facing major protests from gamers on social media. And this is definitely something that I think is extremely important, because just a few days ago, I talked about in a video how on the Sony PlayStation storefront, there, in specific places like Germany and Austria, a certain movie company's movies were being removed from the service, and didn't matter when you purchased them or how many of them you owned, they were getting ripped out of your digital library and you can no longer access them. And this is a very similar situation. Of course, that was movies in specific places. But like I said in that video, it's not like situations like this couldn't happen in the United States to services that we use for, you know, products that we might own. And it is happening now with Ubisoft. So definitely something that I wanted to talk about. And we are also going to be talking about how Twitter is officially suing Elon Musk. Now, a couple of days ago, we heard that Elon Musk announced he was not intending to purchase Twitter anymore. He was unhappy with basically the information that they were giving him and the lack of information that they were giving him. And now it's getting kind of complicated. It's getting kind of messy because we are being told that he did sign papers, you know, he did sign deals to purchase Twitter, even if he wanted to back out because he felt he didn't get enough suitable information, and he was basically being lied to. Twitter is now suing him to have this deal go through, which I think, of course, is very comical because there are people out there who have viewed this situation as good. I'm glad that Elon isn't purchasing Twitter anymore, and I'm glad that we're gonna have these great leaders at the company still running it. It's all bullshit. These executives, these individuals who are running Twitter right now do not give a fuck about Twitter. They care about a payday. They want to cash out. That's all that they care about. And now a chance for, I don't know if I necessarily want to say a chance for the company to be saved, but maybe taken in a more positive direction. Looks like it's off the table, at least for now. I think that he is going to still purchase Twitter, but I think that he's going to purchase it for like half the amount that the deal was initially made for, especially after all of like the bot information that's come out. So yeah, those are the main topics that we're going to cover tonight. And then I have like one or two side topics we might get a chance to cover, like The Watch, which is a Bully Hunters 2.0. Aren't you guys so excited? I mean, Bully Hunters went so well. Bully Hunters was so amazing. It was such a great positive thing for gaming. And now a group of people have decided to create this community, right, called The Watch at Help Keep Watch. And they are a community to fight racism and toxicity in gaming. And of course, this has backfired on them. The internet has laughed in their faces. If you look at the quote retweets, of course, it's all fucking Bully Hunters 2.0. Gee whiz, we've never seen anything like this before. So they're getting laughed at. But those are the topics that we are going to be covering tonight. Welcome, everyone. I hope that your evening is going well. We'll get started in a minute or two. Yeah, I mean, I'm someone who obviously has to purchase quite a lot of digital-only products. But like I've always said, I try my very best to purchase physical games, physical, you know, items, because it's not even just the fact that they can get ripped away from you, but they can also be edited, right? We've seen that happen with like Disney so many times, and some of these comedy series that now are found to be too offensive. You one day could watch it and it was the episode or content that aired 10, 15 years ago. And then they make a small announcement, they try to sweep it under the rug, and then they end up saying, oh, well, just so you guys know, we edited out some scenes or edited out some dialogue or some key phrases, maybe that are seen as offensive now. So it's not even just products getting ripped away from you, which is terrible, but it's also the fact that companies can change whatever they want in that content. They could edit out anything that they want at any given point in time, and technically they don't even really have to tell us about it. Usually they do, because they know that people on social media will probably end up talking about it, and instead of having a controversy around them not talking about it, usually they make very small announcements. But digital products are, it's difficult because I like having digital products, right? I ultimately would love to be able to open up one launcher on my computer and have every game that I own at the click of a button. I could just go to the top right and, you know, search the game I want and then be able to open it from one launcher, not have to log into 50,000 accounts. But at the same time, I mean, even if you look at physical games now, you can still get physical games basically ripped away from you because companies can, first of all, shut servers down, and then a lot of games will you still won't be able to play them, and it's just, it's disappointing to see where gaming has kind of gone. It's gone from, here's something that you can do in your free time whenever you want, to, well, yeah, you can play games, but you have to log into this account and access this and do this. And now if you look at games, a lot of games require online access, even if they're single player, which is very, very unfortunate. So, yeah. The watch sounds like Night Watch, and it kind of does. Dear God, these idiots are exactly what they claim to hate. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Ubisoft, we edited out your game, you're welcome. I know, and it's like these companies, it's like they don't think that they've done anything wrong. It's like they think that no matter what they do, you know, people are still gonna love them. If you look at the tweet that Ubisoft put up about the game being basically inaccessible, even if you purchased it, they shut off replies so that a normal consumer can't tweet at them and say, hey, listen, I don't think that you should do this. It's them not wanting to deal with backlash, so they're silencing people, which is only going to end up, you know, making people louder and talk in different places, because if I can't comment on the actual thread itself, then I'm going to make my own tweet about it. I'm going to look at Reddits that are talking about it. I'm going to look at articles. I'm going to look at other communities that are talking about it. So, I mean, hey, you get what you deserve. You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. It's just baffling to me that these fucking billion-dollar companies are so, I don't know, selfish. It's that they don't care about what consumers say. They're not watching how gaming is changing and how, you know, gamers are kind of responding to things going on. I mean, the perfect example is NFTs. Everyone fucking hates NFTs, yet these companies are still pushing NFTs in games. And I'm someone who still sits here and says, you know what, maybe one day we'll see some kind of fair NFT system put into games. I'm not against the idea of new innovative ideas in the gaming industry, but we saw the last big innovative idea that was pushed into the gaming industry, which was loot boxes. At first, it really wasn't that bad. You know, there were loot boxes for cosmetics and not pay-to-win items, and then companies like EA started shoving pay-to-win items into loot boxes. We saw them make billions and billions of dollars off of it, and now look where loot boxes are. Nobody trusts loot boxes. As soon as you hear loot boxes in a game, you do a double take and you go, okay, well, what's in them? How are you gonna fuck us over now? Which is stupid. But it is what it is, because that's what these companies do, and these companies don't really care about us. I try to stay positive, but it's true at the end of the day. It's not like these companies actually care about what we want. They care about what they want and what they think is going to make them money. But alright guys, let's get into the first topic of the evening, which is going to be Blizzard, another pretty shitty game company. I talk about Blizzard a lot on the channel. I used to really love Blizzard. Blizzard has some amazing franchises, and after the Activision acquisition, of course, Blizzard kind of went downhill, and we've all got a bit of hope when it comes to Blizzard because of their the newest acquisition of them being acquired. But the Blizzard CEO has decided to defend Diablo Immortal's controversial microtransactions. Now, I live streamed Diablo Immortal for a couple of days on the channel. When it first came out, I tried to be fair. I tried to give it a chance. I overall was not very impressed with it. While the gameplay was okay, and maybe if the pay-to-win systems were not in the game, I could have, gotten to max level and enjoyed my time in Diablo Immortal to some extent. Unfortunately, it was filled with microtransactions, and it was fucking hell. At first, we thought that they wanted us to pay $110,000 to max out a character if you got lucky. But then, people started getting to endgame and found more pay-to-win systems. And then, now, we've ended up finding out that it cost $500,000, $500,000 to max out one Diablo Immortal character, and that's if you're lucky, okay? In something like, I don't know, Apex Legends, right? There's the heirloom system, and it's not the same, obviously, because the heirlooms don't actually have any stats attached to them. Every time a new heirloom comes out, you get a chance for $100 set to buy all the packs and automatically unlock the heirloom. And if you don't after, you might be spending $300, $400, $500 on packs to potentially get an heirloom. But at least there's a chance of when an heirloom comes out to get it for that set $100. I think it's $110. And when it comes to games, I feel like even that some people do agree with, like, if you want to put more expensive systems in the game, it's fine, as long as, like, when it's initially launched, people get an easier chance of obtaining it, and it's not as expensive as it would have been if you purchased it, 2 years down the line. But Diablo Immortal, on fucking launch day, not even official launch day, right? On beta launch day, they decided to shove these microtransactions into this game, into our faces, and they thought that this would be acceptable. They thought that this would be okay. And for Blizzard to have the fucking audacity to release these systems in a game that was in beta was a lot. The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch. But now the Blizzard CEO is coming out, doubling down, defending these microtransactions, right? I view Blizzard as a fucking joke at this point. There's no way to sugarcoat it. I just can't look at Blizzard and view them seriously anymore. I cannot look at Blizzard and go, you know what? They're trying at least. They're doing things that are good. Because they have slapped us in the faces so many times. They do not listen to what consumers want. They don't fix microtransactions. I mean, hell, they don't even listen to their fucking competitive players. With games like Overwatch, they do not care. And this is what people need to realize, that these companies really don't care about us. It's sad. It sucks. But that's how they are. Just got an ad for Diablo Immortal. I know, I think it's funny on my videos, people keep getting Diablo Immortal ads, even though I say fuck Diablo Immortal, and Diablo Immortal is shit. It is dog shit. You guys, if you click off this stream and click on 5 more times, you'll probably get a Diablo Immortal ad. I still think it's pretty funny. But since its release in June, Diablo Immortal has been the subject of criticism over its prevalent microtransactions, which players say can cost thousands of dollars without ever seeing the legendary gems they want from loot boxes. However, Blizzard CEO Mike Ybarra is still in favor of the game's monetization. I bet there are like 10 people playing Diablo Immortal still. The 10 loser soy boy cucklords out there who spent $110,000 only to realize they had to spend $510,000 and they couldn't swipe their mommy's credit card anymore. I bet that they're still playing the game, but they've got to be the only people playing this game still, because I have seen no one talk about it. It is not topping YouTube charts. It's not high on the YouTube algorithm. On Twitch, it hasn't hit high categories. I bet nobody's playing this besides the people who have wasted their life savings on this game, which is so stupid. I don't know why you would ever put $500,000 into a game, right? But some people have. And, well, you play stupid games, honk honk, you win stupid prizes. In a new interview with the Los Angeles Times, he stood by the game's microtransactions, which he claimed were implemented to make the game more accessible. This motherfucker. This fucking guy, okay? We put $500,000 worth of microtransactions in the game, not as pay to win, but to help you guys, to make the game more accessible. This is not the accessibility that people wanted in gaming. Let me tell you that right now, Mike. When we think about monetization at the very highest level it was, how do we give a free Diablo experience to hundreds of millions of people where they can literally do 99.5% of everything in the game? Thank you, First Name, for the $4.99 super chat. Vera's hair is red, the super chat is green, my rent is due, Diablo ruined my dream. Yeah, it is pretty sad, but thank you for the $5 super chat, much appreciated. He also defended the way the microtransactions are implemented, as they largely only come into play in the game's later stages. Yeah, after you're already invested, right? After you've already maybe spent $100 on cosmetics, after you've gotten to the end game, after they've kind of reeled you in, they've gotten you to play the free experience, because the end game of Diablo Immortal, the only thing that you can fucking do is rifts, and rifts, if you actually want good loot, is like fucking $5 a rift. Or I think you can get all the way up to like fucking $25 a rift or something like that. So yeah, clearly that was going to be their strategy, and well, they are shitlords. It says the philosophy was always to lead with great gameplay. I don't know if I'd call it great gameplay. I mean, it was enjoyable to a certain extent. Like, if it wasn't pay to win and it was simply a free Diablo experience, like, I think in terms of mobile gaming, it's pretty good, right? If we look at just the gameplay. If I only had a phone and I was a mobile gamer, I think that Diablo Immortal would probably be one of the, in terms of gameplay, one of the best mobile games that there is. It's pretty great for a mobile game. It looks pretty good for a mobile game. But when you have a PC, why would you want to waste your time playing Diablo Immortal, right? Because there are plenty of great games out there that you could run on a fucking potato. In Diablo Immortal, you can run on a potato, but there's so many other better games that are not pay to win. There's no point, right? You could go back and play all of the other Diablo games on your PC. There's really not a point to play Diablo Immortal, especially when you factor in the pay-to-win elements. There's really no reason. It says the philosophy was always to lead with great gameplay and make sure that hundreds of millions of players can go through the whole campaign without any costs. From that standpoint, I really feel good about it as an introduction to Diablo. I guess technically you can go through the game until max level free to play, but the problem is that when you get to endgame, you are going to be at such a massive disadvantage because you haven't gotten to do those rifts. You don't have the gear from those rifts. If you had paid for the crests, you are at a massive disadvantage, and I feel like that's one strategy to get people to pay before they even get to endgame, because you don't want to be at a disadvantage and you want to have fun while you're playing the game, and being overpowered is something that is usually typically fun in games. So they get you maybe to spend $100, $200 max on average going through the campaign, and then once you get done you've gotten to endgame, you kind of view it as, well, I've already invested a bit of money, so why not invest a little bit more money? It says Blizzard said that most players aren't spending money on the game, though they wouldn't provide specific statistics. Recently, however, Diablo Immortal's microtransactions netted $24 million in just 2 weeks. I don't think that it's making that much money anymore. Now, maybe it is. Don't get me wrong. I don't know the facts. If anyone here works at Blizzard, please send me a fucking screenshot, okay, of your internal logs. Give me some information here, right? But I I think that a giant part of Diablo Immortal was the content creators, and those people are not showing up to play it anymore. Like, look at Quinn, okay? He's a Twitch streamer, and there were a lot of articles put out on him after, like, the first 3 weeks of Immortal being out, because he was someone who spent, I think it was 21,000 USD to get his first gem, his first 5-star gem. He was a content creator. He spent all that money so that he could show off that system. So that is an easy 20K for Blizzard. There are not a lot of content creators playing Diablo Immortal anymore. So you are minusing those people. And while I'm sure that there are still whales spending money on this game, a lot of people also saw, you know, this is beta. This isn't the full release of the game, so why am I going to spend money on it? That's the way that I viewed it, right? I'm not against spending money in games here and there. I wouldn't ever spend money on Diablo Immortal, but I still spend money on games from time to time. But we're not talking $100,000 here. I mean, just think of this, guys. The game made $24 million in just 2 weeks, which is a great amount for a free game, but they literally expect whales to spend $500,000 on one character. It really doesn't sound like a lot of money when you start thinking that way. It says, as many countries move to consider loot boxes as exploitative, the title was recently pulled in Belgium and the Netherlands for its heavy reliance on loot boxes, which I think is great. I have always said this before. I support loot boxes that are cosmetics only, kind of like maybe Overwatch. Overwatch I felt was a little bit much, but I don't mind games that have loot boxes that have cosmetics in them, as long as it is only cosmetic and there's no, like, buffs or items with stats attached to them. I will support loot boxes from time to time, but unfortunately with Diablo Immortal, they went way too fucking far with this whole gem system, and they deserve all of the hate that they're getting over it, in my opinion. And the Blizzard CEO, I gotta give it to him. He's got guts. He's got fucking guts for coming out defending these microtransactions, but he's also a little soy boy bitch for allowing these microtransactions to be put in this game in the first place. But that's all that I really had to discuss with that topic. Also, Diablo Immortal is still not released in China. They announced that they were indefinitely delaying it 2 days before release, and it's still not released in China, so they still haven't made any money from Immortal in China, which I think is pretty freaking funny. Very funny. The next topic, guys, we're only going to briefly touch on. It is a pretty political topic, but there's also another kind of side topic with it that I wanted to quickly mention. Diablo Immortal, from what we know, was in development for 5 years. Well, keep in mind that when they say in development, right, there's the pre-production, there's like the pre-stages, and then they actually get people like developers on it, and then they're actually creating it. So who knows how long it was really in development for, but I believe it was technically in development, yeah, for 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. And it's still not even done, because that was the beta. That wasn't even the official release, so it's still technically kind of in development, which is kind of comical, but yeah. There goes Blizzard's social credit score. Yeah, the Blizzard social media accounts, haha, on Chinese social media, what we're talking about now, they were banned. How could Kojima do it? Yeah. You guys know I don't talk a lot about political issues on this channel. Sometimes I'll talk about things that do definitely have political undertones, but I don't talk a lot about politicians specifically. Yesterday, I did do a video on Ken Akamatsu actually winning a house in the Japanese... Oh, what was it? Let me find it really quickly so I can actually tell you guys it without stumbling over my words. Yesterday, I did talk about Ken Akamatsu and how he basically conquered Japan, right? He was elected after campaigning for creators' freedom of expression. If you didn't see that, go check it out. And the reason why I talked about that is because, first of all, I do talk about Japanese entertainment a lot, but I did talk about him before he even got into politics. But a few days ago, this situation happened, and I wanted to talk about it primarily because of social media. Unfortunately, I'm sure that all of you have heard about it at this point, but Shinzo Abe was assassinated, which is a terrible fucking thing. It is an extremely sad thing that happened. If you agree or disagree with his politics, right? At the end of the day, someone did die, and that is very sad. But I wanted to talk about it for two brief reasons. First of all, social media. Chinese social media was celebrating Shinzo Abe's assassination, and if you looked at social media when it had happened, even like just Twitter, if you go to Twitter, type in his name, there were a lot of people, that were celebrating this situation, which is pretty fucking disgusting. But it says Chinese social media reportedly blew up Friday with posts gleefully celebrating the assassination of the former Japanese prime minister, who annoyed the tyrants of Beijing with his staunch support for Taiwan. As you can see, there was a lot of posts being made. I probably should never click links to Twitter that I haven't previously looked at, but this was a post that went up. A lot of people were sharing it around. As you can see, 3,000 retweets, over 3,000 likes. Chinese nationalists on Weibo have began to celebrate that Japan's ex-PM is shot during his campaign, and unfortunately, again, he did pass away. We didn't find out until the next day, but it did happen. They call the attacker a hero and sent death wishes to him, saying things like, congrats, eat an extra bowl of rice for celebration. I'm waiting for his death. Who is the attacker? I want to donate money. And we did see a lot of very similar things happen, again, on our social media. Just going to Twitter, there were a lot of people who were celebrating this, which I, of course, do not agree with. Okay, at the end of the day, whether you agree or disagree with his political stances, someone did pass away. It's just a very sad situation overall. But people on Twitter are pretty fucking nutty. I don't think that I have to say that, but there are a lot of people on Twitter who don't really like to have general respect for other human beings, which is fucking disgusting, right? Even if I did or didn't like his takes, at the end of the day, we're still talking about a political figure who was assassinated, doing a speech, just how is that something that, like, you'd want to celebrate? But so basically, if I don't like someone, I can just kill them. Good to know, Twitter. That is how Twitter, or some people on Twitter specifically, act. That is the way that they think. But I also wanted to talk about this, which, listen, guys, okay? What happened is not funny, okay? His death, it's not funny. It's not funny, but when I laugh here, I'm not laughing at the fact that he passed away. Kojima was falsely identified as the assassin by Greek media. What the fuck? What the fuck? Jesus Christ. In the rush for answers and information following the sudden assassination of the former Japanese Prime Minister, both a French politician and a Greek news outlet have misidentified famed Metal Gear Solid and Death Stranding creator Kojima as the suspected perpetrator of the attacks. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Again, I'm not laughing at the death. I'm laughing at the fact that Kojima and his pictures were everywhere. His pictures were everywhere. Because, of course, when one news outlet shows pictures, all the others start to show pictures as well. Oh, Kojima. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. It says Abe, who served as the East Asian country's prime minister from 2012 to 2020, was, of course, killed on July 8th. I'm not gonna, yeah, it says the following media includes sensitive content. I'm not gonna show it, but, there were a lot of reports, you know, a lot of people really wanted answers, and there were photos being shared around, and Kojima's was one of the photos that was being sent around. And he is talking about suing these media outlets, which I think is great. Do it, Kojima, right? He's talking about suing them. I don't know if he will, but he was talking about suing them. But yeah, he was falsely identified by media and politicians, which wasn't what I was expecting to hear in terms of Kojima news on that day. But yeah, that's all that I really had to talk about with it. People are just, being generally disgusting, going on social media, you know, praising this murderer, right? Viewing him as a hero, saying, oh, it's okay, because, you know, I disagreed with his political opinions, so I'm glad that it happened, which is just disgusting. But yeah, that's all that I had to discuss with that. And I just wanted to briefly mention it, chat, just because I know that so many people have been talking about it, and I thought that it was important to mention. Next, we are going to be talking about another sad situation. This is also going to be quick, and we're not going to be on it for very long, but I did still want to bring it up because I didn't get a chance to do a video on it, and a lot of you have asked me to cover it and to talk about it, so yeah. Yeah. All the Kojima jokes in chat. The stupidity of these people. They need more than glasses. True, though. So, this is going to be another very quick topic. I did talk about this in a couple of videos. I mean, not a couple of videos, in a couple live streams. But the Yu-Gi-Oh! Creator, Kazuki Takahashi, was found deceased at age 60, floating off Japan coast. Now, you guys know, over the years, I've played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to be very big into Yu-Gi-Oh! I even ran Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments for a while. When I worked at a comic book game shop, I ran Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments. I was very into Yu-Gi-Oh! I have a few Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos on the channel that have hundreds of thousands of views, which is pretty funny. But, you know, even though I kind of fell out of love with Yu-Gi-Oh! And I didn't like the way that the actual game was going, and the way that, you know, Konami was going. I still have a lot of fond memories of Yu-Gi-Oh! I still love Yu-Gi-Oh! To a certain extent, and I still, you know, appreciate what Kazuki did, what he gave to us, what he brought to us, and I still wanted to briefly, you know, talk about the situation because it is so very sad and very important. It says, Duel Monsters fans across the world are mourning for the loss of the man who started it all, as the Yu-Gi-Oh! Creator has tragically passed away at the age of 60. When this news initially came out, we didn't know exactly what he passed away from. We didn't know what had happened. There were a lot of rumors, and this was one of the rumors, which is why I didn't initially talk about it when it first happened, but now we do know the confirmation, and it's very sad. And he was only 60 years old. It says, as reported by the Okinawa Times, he was found floating face down in the waters off the coast of Onna in Naga City, Okinawa Prefecture, around 10:30 a.m. on July 6th, following a report of a potential dead body floating. Authorities believe that the mangaka had already been dead for at least 1 or 2 days prior to the discovery of his body. Though his identity was not immediately confirmed at the time of the initial report, according to a broadcaster, the Japan Times, he was traveling there alone. A car rental company contacted police on Wednesday night saying it could not reach him, prompting the Coast Guard to suspect the body was his. And then on July 7th, they did officially identify him, and they noted that he was found wearing snorkeling equipment, explaining that his body lacked any significant injury, and confirmed that he was visiting alone. So it does sound like it was a very unfortunate freak accident. It does sound like, you know, there was no foul play or anything. It's not like, you know, they thought that he was killed or they thought that anything, you know, suspicious happened. It seems like it was just a very unfortunate accident. Maybe he didn't know how to work the equipment. Maybe something bad happened. I mean, we're never really gonna probably get any other information besides this, which, of course, is the family's choice. I don't know, you know, what his family looks like, how many people are in his family, but that, you know, if they don't want to ever release any other information, they definitely shouldn't. But it says, according to the authorities, an abandoned rental car rented by him was found on a farm road near a beach in Onna village, about 12 kilometers from where his body was found, with his driver's license left in the vehicle. They did confirm that they will be investigating the circumstances leading up to his death, but we don't really have any other information. And of course, you know, Konami put out a tweet saying, in memory of him, we are shocked and saddened to hear of the sudden passing. We are deeply grateful for the wonderful Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe that he has created, and our thoughts are with his friends and family at this difficult time. Together with his countless fans, we pledge to carry on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy with all the love and care it deserves. So, even though I'm not really a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan now, I have had many amazing memories with Yu-Gi-Oh!, with the anime, and also, you know, the card game, the video games. I have had a lot of very great memories surrounding Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is just a very sad, unfortunate situation. And I did want to, you know, briefly mention it so that, you know, I could say I had talked about it. But rest in peace. Very, very sad fucking situation as well. Just a lot of very sad things going on the past few days, chat. And then the animation director and key animator for various episodes of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime adaptation tweeted out a sketch of Yami Yugi and declared it is a shame. Great sketch, by the way, may I add. But there were a lot of people, of course, who had come forward, made tweets about it. Yugi's Japanese voice actor had said, you know, I pray that he rests in peace. Overall, just a very, very, very sad situation. So that's all that I had to discuss with that. I did want to briefly bring it up in tonight's stream. And yeah, that's all that we really had to talk about with that. Next, we are going to move into Ubisoft chat. Um... I hate Yu-Gi-Oh! Animation style, never read it, had no emotional connection to the creator, but damn, it's not a great way to die. Oh yeah, no, it's very sad. I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! It was one of my favorite shows. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of fond memories with Yu-Gi-Oh! Even though I don't really play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, or particularly care about Yu-Gi-Oh! All that much now, it is still very sad. Behind me, I always keep them here. I have my first edition Legend of Blue Eyes Exodia set, if that counts, chat. It's the only Yu-Gi-Oh! I care about anymore. It's the only Yu-Gi-Oh! I care about, and they're in, like, great fucking condition. But, yeah. Very sad. I do have some Yu-Gi-Oh! Products, still. Sealed Yu-Gi-Oh! Product. Locked away. Hidden away. But it will probably never see the light of day. But yeah, now we're gonna talk about Ubisoft in a minute. Fucking Ubisoft pissing everybody off. What is up with these companies not giving a fuck about what their consumers want? What is up with these companies acting just like general shitheads? Japan is getting hit hard this week. Most definitely. It's very, very sad. I don't know what's going on the past couple days, but it's not very good. That's not good. I don't know. Poor Japan. I mean, hey, the whole Ken Akamatsu news was pretty positive, so that's something, right? It might not be, you know, the best news in the world, but it's still good news. So, there is that. My best deck was in the Synchro Age. Yeah, Synchro Summons. Yeah, I don't know. I gave up on Yu-Gi-Oh! A long time ago. But alright, let's move on to the next topic, chat, which is going to be Ubisoft. You guys know Ubisoft is one of those companies that kind of sucks now. Ubisoft over the years, again, has created some amazing games, some amazing franchises, but they have gotten themselves into a brand new giant controversy that I didn't make a video on, but I may still make a video on. If you guys want to see that tomorrow, let me know. But Ubisoft has come under fire because of, well, games that you might own that, well, you technically don't own. I talked a couple of days ago about a situation with the Sony PlayStation storefront and how in a specific place or two, Germany and Austria, a movie studio was ripping their games off of the PlayStation storefront, and now you can't access the movies that you bought from that storefront. And of course, it just kind of highlighted the fact that unfortunately you really don't own digital products that you purchase, no matter how much you spend on them. And I mean, this just proves it even further. Ubisoft revoking access to single-player games is dark news for gamers. We're not talking about multiplayer games and, you know, servers going offline for multiplayer games, because, like, if you look at something like World of Warcraft, one day your World of Warcraft account, it's not going to be worth anything because World of Warcraft will go down, Star Wars The Old Republic. I mean, look at fucking Bless, okay? Bless went down, and, well, Rest in peace to the people who bought the special editions of Bless, because I was almost one of those people. I don't want to sit here and talk about Bless, right? But I was almost one of those people. But this is from DualShockers. It says, so let's read the initial first. It says, last week was a bad week in the world of digital ownership, giving a worrying insight into a reality that for a long time we've wanted to deny ourselves, that we don't really own our games when we purchase them digitally, but rather releasing them from fickle landlords, that's publishers, who revoke our access to these games at any moment. Even unfortunately now, if you own a physical game, you can still get fucked over by these companies. It says, I'm talking about Ubisoft's decommissioning of the online components of 15 of its older, though not in all cases, games, which I covered last week. This didn't just entail closing down long empty multiplayer servers for ancient shooters, but co-op features that should have been playable via LAN, core single-player game features in Anno 2070, and unspecified DLC for single-player games. When I reached out to Ubisoft for comment, they came back with the following. We don't take the decision to retire services for older Ubisoft games lightly, and our teams are currently assessing all available options for players who will be impacted when these games' online services are decommissioned on September 1st, 2022. We are also working with our partners to update this information across all storefronts so players will be fully informed about the removal of online services at the point of purchase, as well as via our support article where we shared the news. Conveniently vague then, though, seeing as they're assessing all available options for when these games and services go down in several weeks. We'll be checking back then to see what actions they wind up taking, which will probably be nothing. These companies don't really care about making consumers happy. They don't actually care about making sure that we are not getting our products ripped away from us. They only really care about ultimately making money when a game launches, and making money at all. And then when it's time to shut down servers, and in some cases shut down games completely, it's not like you get refunded. Look at fucking Bless Online, right? It launched literally 6 months later. They shut the servers down, and that was that. You know, no one could get their money back. It didn't matter. They could shut down a game the day after they fucking launch it, right? You still put time into it. You've still put money into it. Not everyone is going to fight to get their money back. So even if half the people fight to get their money back, they still made half the money. It says, until now, the issue seemed confined to games which had some form of online features, but over the weekend we learned that Ubisoft will also be pulling and revoking access to a fully fledged single-player game, Assassin's Creed Liberation HD, from Steam, as well as its own Ubisoft Connect platform, from September 1st. What makes this especially egregious is the fact that Assassin's Creed Liberation was actually on sale on Steam just last week, incentivizing players to buy a game they will no longer be able to play. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I never really cared about Liberation. I thought it was kind of weird. I thought it was kind of a weird launch, but regardless, this shouldn't fucking happen. If I spend $5 or $500 on a game, you should not be able to rip it away from me. Again, I would understand multiplayer, right? If no one's playing fucking multiplayer in a game anymore, I understand that eventually they're going to want to shut down those online servers. But we're not just talking about the multiplayer aspects for this game. We are talking about the full fucking single player version of the game, which is terrible. It says, upon closer inspection, it looks like another Ubisoft single-player game, Silent Hunter 5, will also become unavailable to existing owners of the game. This move isn't unparalleled even for Ubisoft itself and may have something to do with the company's shonky DRM structure. Last year, the DRM servers for Might and Magic Legacy were deactivated, which meant that players were left unable to play the single-player part of the game. It is just a very fucking unfortunate thing that is going on. It says, While plenty of high-profile games have been pulled from storefronts over the years, they'd almost always remain playable for existing owners. The GTA Definitive Edition trilogy, for example, resulted in the original versions of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas being pulled from sale, which I also don't agree with, but whatever. But they remain playable for existing owners. As Bethesda prepared to release its 2017 game Prey, the original Prey from 2006 was pulled from sale, but those of us lucky enough to get it before then can still play the rather underrated shooter today. I do not think that they should be able to shut single-player games down completely. I do not think that that should be possible. I do not think that is okay. I think that is fucking disgusting and fucking scummy. In a fucking 100 years, guys, you're not gonna be able to play games anymore. Any games that are created now, you're not gonna be able to fucking play anymore. It's not gonna matter to us losers, right? We'll be dead. Sorry, just being honest. But it might matter to one or two other people. It says, on the other hand, we've seen publishers be similarly draconian in enforcing their will when pulling games from the store. In 2013, the Challenge expansion pack for the wargame Order of War not only had its server shut down, but was revoked from the Steam store for existing owners and was wiped from the hard drives of people who had the game installed. Just fucking imagine. That is another step of crazy, is just having servers shut down, revoked access, getting your hard drive wiped. That is, a little interesting. A little interesting. It says, and yet this feels bigger in its own way, because while multiplayer games are dependent on the enduring interest of other players, with publishers pulling the game once they see it as dead, single-player games don't die in the same way. When we purchase a single-player game, we expect it to be available for us to return to whenever we please, whether that's an annual playthrough or a nostalgic trip down memory lane in 10 years' time. Ubisoft taking away games that people have bought with no explanation is something that, you know, we'd never expect to see in a single-player game, but it's something that we'd expect from a subscription service like Game Pass. And unfortunately, yeah, that is the base situation. It does say there was an update, though. Since yesterday, Ubisoft has updated their statement, and they're saying that these games will, in fact, continue to be accessible for existing owners, but there are still web pages like Steam that say it won't be accessible at all. Like, it's like they're trying to tell media, oh yeah, you'll still be able to access it, even though everywhere else it's not saying that. So of course it's like, yeah, you guys are saying one thing, but just because you're saying it doesn't mean that it's going to be true. It's like, do you actually plan on following through with that? Is that actually what's going to happen? I'd like to be able to sit here and, you know, have some kind of like trust in them, right? To not be shitbags. I'd like to sit here and be able to say, oh yeah, surely, you know, they're not gonna lie to us. But, well, we know how that goes. And on the Ubisoft support Twitter account, they put out this tweet saying we will be deactivating online services on some of our older titles. You can find a list of titles, platforms, and impacts here. And of course, fucking billion-dollar company shuts replies off so that people can't talk about it. If you go to the quote tweets, there are a lot of people that are very, very upset, of course. You guys are terrible. Gotta be the biggest anti-consumer move of the year. I agree, it is an extremely anti-consumer move here. People saying things like, I smell bitch in here. People Ubisoft support mention can reply. Locking replies is such a fucking cuck move. It is such a bitch move. Piracy. pirate Ubisoft games. Now, guys, surely I would not sit here and tell you to pirate things. I have never pirated anything in my entire life. I am a law-abiding citizen. This is another wake-up call on why physical media is important. Long live piracy. I would not support piracy. Surely, chat. Do I look like I support such a thing? But yeah. Very interesting situation. They have gotten a lot of hate over this, and they fucking deserve it. They deserve the hate. They deserve the backlash. Ubisoft sucks. Then again, I've said it many times. I don't really like Ubisoft anymore, but Ubisoft hates us, hates consumers. They've deleted our games, and they don't give a fuck about our feedback. They don't care about what we want, what matters to us. They only care about making money. And, well, it's just as simple as that. So that's all that I really had to discuss with that topic, chat. Next, we're going to talk about Twitter. And Elon Musk. I'm sure you all know about the situation, but we've got some official confirmation that Twitter is and has filed a lawsuit against Elon Musk. You get what you fucking deserve, Ubisoft? Yep, 100%. Also, chat, before we move into the next topic, if you're enjoying the live stream, make sure to give it a like. We need 12 more likes to hit 100. If you're enjoying, check out the links in the description and the pinned comment in chat. Consider donating via Streamlabs. All donos pop up. $3 or more text-to-speech activates. Consider becoming a member via YouTube memberships. Next week, I will be doing the supporter live stream, the monthly supporter live stream. Because this week, I think my schedule is going to be messed up one more time. I'm not 100% sure, though. But next week, I should be doing the supporter stream. So, yeah. Ironic they're advertising Skull and Bones at the same time. It is pretty fucking funny. It is pretty funny that they announced Skull and Bones, they're promoting it, and now we're talking about pirating Ubisoft games, which I would never support, chat. Me, never. But yeah. Pretty fucking funny. This is business as usual. Yeah, to these companies, it's how it goes. How much do you want to bet EA will do the same things and take our games from us? Oh yeah. I mean, EA, Ubisoft, they're all shitty. They're all the fucking same. They don't care. EA would take your game and sell it back to you as a microtransaction. Actually true though, Moon. Actually fucking legitimate. No X. No X. No, don't put X in shit. No, don't. Don't do that. There's no reason to doubt me, okay? Alright, so I'm sure that you have all already heard about the drama going on between Twitter and Elon Musk over the past few days, but we initially heard that Elon was backing out of the Twitter deal. A couple months ago, we heard he was buying Twitter for $44 billion. And over the past few weeks, we've heard a lot of information about how, Twitter apparently wasn't being very transparent with him. Twitter was not giving him the information that he was looking for. And so now he has announced that he is backing out of the deal. He no longer has an interest in buying Twitter for $44 billion. And now Twitter has officially sued Elon Musk to force the purchase to go through. Now, when I first read this, let's start a couple weeks back. When he announced he was buying it, I thought that $44 billion sounded absurd, and I really didn't think he was going to buy it for $44 billion. And when he announced a few days ago that he wasn't going to purchase it for $44 billion, Twitter said that we're going to sue you. if you don't work with us and you don't buy it. And I figured that he wanted it for cheaper. And I don't think that they're going to get that much money out of it. I think that he probably, this is my guess, I think that he will be forced to purchase Twitter, and I think that he intends to purchase Twitter still, but I think he wants it for like half the price. But it says, Twitter sued Elon Musk on Tuesday to force the billionaire to complete his $44 billion acquisition of the company, setting the stage for a prolonged legal battle over the fate of the social media service. Mr. Musk agreed in April to buy Twitter, but declared last week that he intended to walk away from the deal. To push him to abide by the acquisition agreement, Twitter sued him in a court in Delaware. The court will determine whether he remains on the hook for the purchase or whether Twitter violated its obligation to provide him with the data he requested, entitling him to walk away. He refuses to honor his obligations to Twitter and its stockholders because the deal he signed no longer serves his personal interest, the company said in the suit. He apparently believes that he, unlike every other party subject to Delaware contract law, is free to change his mind, trash the company, disrupt its operations, destroy stockholder value, and walk away. At the heart of the case is the issue of disclosure. To terminate the deal, Mr. Musk claimed that Twitter balked at handing over information about spam bots, also known as fake accounts, on the platform. This is a problem that I think that Twitter is going to run into. Like I said, I think that he still wants to buy Twitter, and I think that he will buy Twitter, but I don't think it's going to be for $44 billion. I think it's going to go for $30 billion. I think that they're going to say, okay, you gotta still buy the platform, but because you didn't want to provide him the data, and at first you said, before he signed, they told him all this information, which we now basically know is false. I think that when they have to provide real information, I think that they're going to lower the price. Ding, 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 I guess 30 billion. 25 to 30 billion. It says, he repeatedly said he did not believe the company's public statements that roughly 5% of its active users are bots. Twitter intentionally misled the public, he said, and obstructed his efforts to get more information about how it accounts for the figures. He also has taken aim at Twitter for not giving warning before recently firing 2 key executives. It says he signed a legally binding agreement, though, with Twitter, and in that contract, Twitter included a specific performance clause that allows it to sue to force the deal through, so long as the debt that the billionaire has corralled for the acquisition is in place. It says in a letter to Mr. Musk's lawyers on Sunday, Twitter's lawyers, it's so fucking funny to have to say Twitter lawyers, because to me it just sounds like SJ fucking W's. Twitter lawyers are going mental right now. I know it's Twitter's lawyers, but it's just funny because they're all just a fucking joke. It says that they had said in the letter that his move to terminate the deal was invalid and wrongful, and that he knowingly, intentionally, willfully, and materially breached his agreement to buy the firm. The company has said that it is confident in its figures about spam accounts and that it uses experts in spam to audit the count and ensure its accuracy, which I, of course, call cap. You all call cap. I think is pretty fucking cap. In its suit, Twitter argued that he, who also leads the automaker Tesla, wanted to exit the deal because of changes in the stock market that affected his wealth. I don't buy that. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. Twitter said the billionaire used his complaints about bots as a pretext to wiggle out of the agreement. Mr. Musk also broke an agreement not to publicly insult Twitter executives, and he covertly abandoned his efforts to secure debt funding for the deal. He broke an agreement not to publicly insult Twitter executives. Mr. Musk, we'll sell you our company, but you can't insult us. You can't insult executives. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares if he insults you? All these executives are walking away with fucking millions and millions of dollars. I would be publicly fucking shamed if I could get millions of dollars out of a deal like that. I wouldn't give no fucks. I wouldn't give a singular fuck, and most people wouldn't. For a single $1 million, you could run my leg over and break it. I wouldn't care. Give me the $1 million, right? And these... You can't publicly insult Twitter executives. No mean tweets allowed. I mean, what fucking... I've used soy boys a lot tonight, chat. What fucking soy boys? It says, Musk wanted an escape, the company said, but the merger agreement left him little room. He didn't respond to a request for comment, of course. Twitter's general counsel informed employees of the suit in an internal memo on Tuesday and said the company had also filed a motion for an expedited trial alongside the complaint. Twitter is seeking a 4-day trial this September. The deal has a deadline of October 24th to be completed. Hey, 2 days before my birthday. Poggers! Should the transaction still be awaiting regulatory approval at the time, Mr. Musk and Twitter would have another 6 months to close it. Brian Quinn, a professor at Boston College Law School, said Twitter's legal arguments were strong. Really, Vera? We can run over your leg for $1 million? For $1 million, someone can run my leg over, yes. With a car, an ATV, you pick it. For $1 million. Yep. I'll let it happen. What's one broken leg, anyway? Who cares? It's $1 million. Who fucking cares? It says his lawyers are going to be very unhappy with the fact that he tweets. Ooh. The lawyers of the richest man in the world are gonna be a little bit mad at him for tweets. I mean, come on. That sounds so stupid. It says... still, Mr. Musk's threat of walking away could bring Twitter back to the negotiating table, allowing the billionaire to buy the company at a discount. The two sides could also settle, with Mr. Musk paying damages to Twitter, or he could pay $1 billion breakup fee and walk away, an option allowed only under certain circumstances, such as if Mr. Musk's financing fell through. So, yeah, guys. As of right now, Elon Musk doesn't want to buy Twitter anymore. Twitter is suing him after he tried backing out of the deal. Only time will tell. There are people on Twitter who are going, yay, he's not buying the platform anymore. Which I think is pretty fucking comical because, of course, he's going to still buy the platform. He just wants it for, like, fucking half the price. Yeah. Do you really think that these executives care about what you want? No, of course not. They don't care about what we want. They don't care about what the social justice warriors want. But yeah. This whole buying agreement was the ultimate troll he got to blast Twitter on a loud mic. Oh yeah, 100%. 20 to 24 billion, I bet he buys it. I think 30. I think 30 billion. That's what I think. It's not like he cares. Elon Musk doesn't give a fuck. Okay? He also tweeted, oh, the irony. LOL. What else has Elon Musk tweeted? Not that I want to sit here and read Elon Musk's shit posts. Oh, the irony. Oh, it's waifu. Elon. Elon should give every good Twitter user a Tesla. Thanks. I appreciate it. But, yeah, that's the situation right now. They said I couldn't buy Twitter. Then they said they wouldn't disclose bot info. Now they want to force me to buy Twitter in court. Now they have to disclose bot info in court. It is pretty funny. It's not like they really care, though, about having to disclose it publicly as long as they get their payout. If they get their paycheck, they don't care. Musk is literally buying it so that people can write whatever they want, not get in trouble. I don't fully agree with that because he is still going to have a terms of service on the platform. What he is doing is he is making it so that people are not unfairly judged because of their political leaning. Which doesn't mean that they can say anything they want on the platform. I don't think that he would ever go 100% free speech with, like, no rules. I still think that there would be things that would get you banned. But I think that he mainly wants to market it as, I'm buying Twitter so that, you know, left or right-leaning people don't get banned for simply having those political opinions. I don't fully believe that he would bring it full free speech. Wake me up when Twitter is actually purchased. Will do, TNN. Did I hear waifu? Yeah, Melania was on screen for 2 seconds. I miss her. She was pretty cool. But yeah, those are the main topics I had to discuss tonight, chat. If you have any questions about the topics, feel free to ask. If you have any, you know, topics you'd like me to discuss, feel free to let me know. And there's only one more thing that I quickly wanted to bring up, which is there is a new organization that is launched called The Watch. I think I'll do a video on this tomorrow. Do you guys remember Bully Hunters from a few years ago? How they launched and how they were going to fight sexism and toxic misogyny in gaming? Well, there's another organization called The Watch that has launched with almost an identical trailer to Bully Hunters. The only difference is Bully Hunters actually had like a few like women speaking in their advertisement, in their trailer, talking about like, I went through this and that as a female gamer. But The Watch has launched, and it is a community watch fighting racism in gaming, starting with Call of Duty. I mean, I'll just play you the first couple seconds so you guys can hear.
I died! What the fuck?
This is...
Are you yelling at? Your mother doesn't love you.
This is the toxicity that they're talking about. Full on fucking banter. Full on just your mother doesn't love you. I mean, that's oh yeah, guys, that's definitely very, very bad. Oh gee whiz. You know, I've always said that, yeah, like, toxicity's bad, right? I'm not sitting here supporting, like, genuinely fucking disgusting people, right? But first of all, it's, like, friendly banter. Second of all, just fucking mute people, right? Just mute people. If you don't like what people are saying in your game, mute them, block them, and you never have to play with them again. It's just as simple as that. I mean, these people are pretty pathetic. Your mother doesn't love you. Yeah, they're talking about fighting things like racism in gaming, and they do show a few clips of people, you know, saying slurs. But most of the trailer, or most of the, yeah, I guess we'll just call it trailer, the advertisement is literally just that. It's literally jokes just like that, like, your mother doesn't even love you. And people just screeching into the microphone. So, yeah, and of course they're getting fucking ratioed for it. They are getting laughed at. They made a clone version of Bully Hunters 2.0. Oh my god, going back to old school Xbox 360 when you played or joined on Halo 3 lobby or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 lobby. It was brutal back then, and it was amazing. I agree. This is going to fail just as hard as Bully Hunters did. I'm excited to watch this, watch how this trash fire goes. I don't think that it's gonna go anywhere. At least with Bully Hunters, right, they got one slightly notable person on it, and they also did one, like, event, so I guess I have to give them that, right? No, I haven't heard enough. Please show more clips. Are these guys joking? They are trying to combat toxicity in gaming when there are already 100% two 100% effective ways to combat this. One, the mute feature in games allows people to silence others they don't want to hear. Two, the block button, which allows you to not see anything from that person. And that's what I view it. That's the way that I view it. You know, I'm a female. I've been playing games many, many years. I remember when I was 12 years old playing Call of Duty, even though technically I was too young to play it. It didn't fucking matter, right? Who the fuck cares? I was like 12 years old playing Call of Duty. And, you know, there were people who some would say, oh my god, it's a girl. And then some people that would say, oh my god, it's a squeaker. If I got annoyed with them, I would just block the shit out of them. I would just mute them, first of all, I'd be like, fuck off. I would say the same thing. Your mother doesn't love you. Okay? That's why you hate women. I would mute them, and then after the game, I'd just block them. Is it that serious? No, I was 12 years old just blocking people, right? And that was like when very rarely shit like that happened. Again, it was the Xbox 360 days, so I really don't take anything that seriously. It's a video game, but there's a Bully Hunters 2.0 chat. Guys, I can't believe it! I wanted to launch Bully Hunters 2.0. I'm gonna call the Feminist Frequency Gaming Hotline and tell on you guys. So, you chat, you better say something nice to me now. You better subscribe, you better like the stream, and you better donate, or I'm calling the Feminist Frequency Hotline on your toxic asses. Okay? Be nice, or you're getting reported. I mean, come on. Why do people think that, like, this is gonna work? Like, this is gonna change? Okay? Why do people think that this is the way to combat toxicity, right? There's already mute buttons. There's already block buttons. It's just as simple as that. Holy shit. You are the cringe. We don't want you. We don't need you. Please hop right out of the gaming space. I tried to see if they were like, if there was any money behind them. It says an initiative by Melanin Gamers, which it seems like they're like YouTubers or something. I couldn't find any sort of like website where it said that they were sponsored by any companies. Not that I'd sit here and like sponsor shame, because like whatever, if a company wants to sponsor them, I just want to laugh at them. But this is what they've decided to do. Instead of, okay, so usually when something large is launched, right, and this giant thing is started and launched, usually, you know, gaming websites would come to you and talk to you about something. They are literally tweeting at people saying, we are the Watch, a community fighting racism in gaming. Together, we can encourage game developers like Activision to take real action against racism in their games. DM us to see how you can help. Gaming has a racism problem. Don't believe us? Just look at our page. If you want to join our fight to get racism out of gaming, DM us and let's talk about how to spread the word. And they're tagging like award-winning reporter for Bloomberg, formerly Wired, New York Times tech reporter, Wall Street Journal, Jake Lucky. They're literally going on Twitter just tweeting at a bunch of different journalists because that was 7 hours ago. So their clip from... So their initial clip from yesterday clearly didn't get any hits from anyone. Any news outlets. So they've literally resorted to tweeting at people directly. That doesn't seem desperate at all, chat, surely. So yeah, guys, those are the topics I had to discuss tonight. I'll be wrapping up stream soon. Not yet, though. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Any topics, feel free to ask. If you're enjoying the stream, make sure to give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Donate via Streamlabs. Become a member via YouTube memberships. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, and you want to donate specific items, and whether they're, you know, games or equipment, I do have an Amazon wish list. I do have a couple of games on there right now that I will be streaming, like Lord of the Rings Gollum, Valkyrie Elysium, and Stalker. Oh, I have to take Stalker 2 off. Valkyrie Elysium and Lord of the Rings Gollum. Those are on the Amazon wish list. And then I have some other things. So yeah, if you guys want to support by donating physical items, that's a way. Donate via Streamlabs, Super Chats, become a member via YouTube memberships, or Patreon. If you are a supporter via like Patreon or YouTube memberships, next week I will be doing a supporter-only stream. So yeah, if you want to join, check out links in the description. Thank you, Dan, for the $9.99 Super Chat. Much appreciated. Would it be possible to do a Baldur's Gate 3? It's turn-based. I haven't played anything. So, Baldur's Gate 3 isn't fully launched yet. Maybe when it fully launches, I would stream it. Potentially. I don't know, though. We'll have to see. I was really, really unimpressed with the way that they kind of like light launched it, the beta that they did. But thank you for the $9.99 Super Chat. When Baldur's Gate 3 officially comes out, I will let you guys know, but I may stream it. Hobbit Simulator. Lord of the Rings Gollum is... It's a stealth game, which is pretty cool. You are stealthing around Middle Earth, stealing shit, and yeah, you're Gollum. I don't know what else to say. I don't know the story at all. I haven't seen anything about the story itself, but it's like a stealth RPG, which seems really, really cool to me. I'm pretty excited for it. So the watch is watching each other drink soy lattes because they will be a bunch of soy boys. Yeah, I understand that, like, I'm not sitting here saying that no, toxicity or harassment happens in gaming. It happens in every industry. But I think that companies and individuals like this need to let people be adults. Sounds like Hobo Simulator. It looks really cool. Here, I'll play the trailer for you guys. I'll play the trailer. Lord of the Rings Gollum. Gameplay or trailer? Sure. This is from a couple of days ago. Let's play this one. I mean, this looks really cool to me. I'm pretty excited. I am pretty freaking hyped for it. I'm not sure if I'm completely ready for a stealth game. Listen, I don't play a lot of stealth games because, well, I'm more of like guns blazing, but it looks really good. I like it. I like the look of it. Thank you, Mr. Waifu Taker, for the $2 super chat. Got my physical copies of DOA 3 and Ultimate 1 and 2. Ooh, nice. Well, that's sick. Get those physical copies while you can. But thank you for the dono. Much appreciated. This shit looks good. I'm pretty excited for it. I hope it ends up being really, really good. I hope it's as good as I think it will be. No harassment happens in gaming. I can confirm this. Surely. Nothing bad happens, right? Again, I don't know, like, who these people are. I don't know what this group really is about. But, yeah. And they want people to... They told people... What you need to do is you need to go into streamers' live streams. They literally said this. They said that you should go into live streamers' live streams, and if you hear toxicity over the microphone and like of other players in the game, in their match, you should clip it and then send it to them. It says to join, watch Twitch, clip racism, and DM it here. It's literally Bully Hunters 2.0. They haven't been pushing the misogyny card like Bully Hunters was. Bully Hunters was very about the misogyny. I'm sure that they will start pushing it at some point here. I just don't see how an organization like this could really go well. I don't know why. I don't know what they were thinking with the way that they presented the trailer and... you know, the claims, the things that they're asking people to do. Vera, make a supercut using saucy words and send it in. That's it, guys. That's it. Let's do it. Players are going to try to get clipped on purpose. Oh, yeah, probably. I mean... When you tell people online not to do something, they're going to do it 10 times more than they would have previously because they think it's funny. Because that's what trolls do. That's what trolls do. And they need to realize that. So, I don't know. As a misogynist, I feel excluded. It's okay, theater. It's okay. One day will be your time to shine. It's just not today, theater. It'll be alright. Yeah, guys, next stream, clip everything you can, and we'll send it in. We'll do a supercut send in. I should go on Twitter and I should make a Twitter account that's literally just a parody of these people, but it's the opposite. It's like, we're a community watching, you know, I don't want to say toxicity in gaming, but like watching friendly banter happen in the gaming industry, and then like have everyone share the literally I could retweet their clips and just go, wow, look at this, another stunning and brave example of people being themselves on the internet. But yeah, it's just another Bully Hunters 2.0, which is pretty pathetic. It didn't work for Bully Hunters. I don't know why they think it would work for them, but I guess they do think it's gonna work for them. If they want to try, go for it. I'm just saying, though, I feel like the people who start these things do it because they want attention. They do it because they think they're gonna explode. They think, oh my gosh, you know, I'm being so positive on the internet and it's so amazing and great, and I'm clearly going to get a lot of attention from people. And then they don't, and then they get mad at it. And then they use the examples of people calling them out for wanting attention as prime examples of toxicity. It's just like this endless cycle with them. The watch sounds pretty bigoted. I don't... What's up with their logo also? It's supposed to be an eye. It literally must have taken someone 10 minutes to do. 5 minutes to do. Not even, yeah, 5 minutes. I bet I could tell you guys, go and make me a pixel art like this right now, and I'm sure like 10 of you could do it in like 5 minutes. The watch! The watch! It's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. We're on a mission to create a gaming community where everyone feels welcome and no one has to hear racist language while they play. Be an ally in the fight against racism in gaming. Together we can get game developers to take real action. What is the real action that they want game developers to take? They don't explain at all what they want game developers to do. They don't talk about it at all. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Kitty's over here. It says, first time on the internet, kid. So what are you guys selling this time? Oh no, the Bully Hunters are back. Nobody actually likes you guys. Yog. What the hell? That's toxic. I'm responding. That's so toxic. I'm going to report you to Bully Hunters 2.0 now. Come on, that's so toxic. I'm gonna report. I think this one is of course funny, but this is a classic. Haha, how the fuck is cyberbullying real? Just walk away from the screen. Like, close your eyes. I'm sorry, it's too funny. It's too funny. I can't wait for you to accomplish nothing and maybe try to sell some gaming accessories or something. Did I spell it wrong? Oh no. I did, but y'all already liked it, so it really doesn't matter. Give the poor people the attention they want. Show us the cat. He ran away. He ran away. You guys will see him next stream. I bought a giant I bought a 6-tier cat tree. Okay? I walked into the store. I want, give me the largest cat tree you've got. 6 tiers of madness. It is taller than me. It's taller than me. I'm ready. What can I say? It's like 1.5 feet taller than me. I'm ready. So are the cats. Let's bully the watch. No, we don't stand for bullying around here, chat. We're not bullies, okay? We don't do bullying. We're supposed to hunt the bullies. That's the point. It's okay, misspelling just emphasizes sarcasm. Yeah, I mean, it didn't matter. It was only meant for one person, so it'll be alright. Stray is next week. Yeah, chat. Stray is finally releasing next week. It comes out on Tuesday. I think I'm going to wait to play it until Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, but I will let you guys know. But alright, chat, with that being said, I am going to wrap up the stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. Check out links in the description. Follow me on social media, Twitter, mine's BitChute, Odyssey, Getter. Join our Discord server. We're very active there. I do tag you all when I go live in case YouTube doesn't notify you of the live streams. No video today. Check out the videos from yesterday and the past few days. I will also be uploading 2 new videos tomorrow, which is, of course, like usual, but that will be tomorrow. But yeah, check out links in the description. Follow me on social media. Like the stream before you leave. Thank you for the donations and for the support tonight, chat. I do really appreciate it. I hope you all have a fantastic night. And, yeah, next stream Thursday. New videos tomorrow. Thank you for being here, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.